Good morning everyone, my name is Christian from Two-Headed Wolf Gaming and welcome to Path of Exile. This is an ARPG from Grinding Gear Games and it's a game I happen to love at this point. And the reason why I wanted to bring this series in at this time, even though I was trying to go for a theme that was more medieval, is because I think that this game is something that you might enjoy as well. But it's very tough to get into it. The first time I played this game, I logged out and deleted it pretty quickly. I don't know if I spent more than about 20 minutes, maybe 30 minutes. So I exited. And then I saw someone on YouTube doing a series, someone I enjoyed watching, and then I came back to Path of Exile and I gave it a good go. The thing about this game is that the first time you play it, you might get to the end game, and there is a bit of a meme that your first character will be really bad. Meaning that when you get to the end game, you won't survive anymore. It's going to be really tough. You're going to fail a lot. Then I came back in another season and I started to understand better how the mechanics of the game goes. And then I started watching others, how they play. And then I learned even more. I think there are 3 different stages to this game. And it's a bit of a personal take on it. So it's the first time when you play and you're really bad at it, and but you're going to learn how things work together, how skills and armors and everything works together. Then you get to the middle part where you start to learn from other people, or maybe you're someone who gets into understanding the game sooner. But you follow other people's guides on how to make different characters, different builds as they are called. And finally, there is a level where you understand the mechanics and you want to understand the mechanics of the game in such a way that you start creating your own builds. You start to put your own skills together. But I will show you more as we go along the game. I am right now somewhere in the middle. I would consider myself to... I'm still working and trying other people's builds. And getting with each time I play it, each time I create a new character, I get a little further into the end game and a little bit further. And to this day, in this heist league, as you can see here, I've gotten the furthest I've ever been in Path of Exile. But I wanted to offer you the experience of how you progress through Path of Exile, and maybe one day together we will reach an end game with a build that we've made. For the moment, on this first series of the Path of Exile, I will be showing you how it is to start with a new character like we've never played before. I have a bit of extra knowledge and I will share it with you guys, but I won't use any of the middle level kind of knowledge that helps you a lot, like trading, like looking for certain information about certain skills, about putting them together and all that. But we will talk along the way. For the moment, we will just do a new character. I have a few here already that I've played with before. So first of all, let's see, where do you want to play? In what league? Generally speaking, there are 3 leagues. There is a standard league. The standard league is where all your characters go. Where a league is like a 3-month, about 3-month event. I think it's to 6 months, the big leagues. But basically they introduce a new mechanic inside the game, and generally it has the most rewards if you play those mechanics. And after these months are over, and they introduce a new mechanic, these old mechanics start to become, in a different way, part of the league, of the normal game. So all your characters, whenever the league is over, move to the standard league. And here, in the whatever the new league is, there's going to be an economy reset. Means that everybody starts from nothing. There are no advanced items on the market, and you basically you can try in standard even some of your more normal characters, your old characters. You can try them out, see how they fare, if they work anymore, and things like that. So standard league is, I'm not sure it's a place where you want to play. Generally, you want to go for whatever the current league is. And the hardcore, as it says here, a character killed in hardcore heist becomes a standard character. So basically, you only have one life here. Once you die, your character gets moved to the standard league. So it's not a total loss, but you can consider yourself out of the game in this particular hardcore game. The difference is that here, when you can die for as many times as you want, even though you get experience penalties, you take other risks. You are doing a lot more risky trials, and even if you fail, it's not that big of a deal. When you are playing hardcore, you probably are more careful about how you go around. You will start reading the information of the different enemies a lot more. You'll learn basically to pay attention to everything in order to not die. And then there is one thing here at the bottom, is solo self-found. What this does is that this puts you into a league, one of these leagues, but on your own. So basically you cannot communicate with other people, you cannot trade with other people, which is more no, you can communicate, but you can't trade and you can't party with other people. Which is a way people enjoy to do this, because then they're on their own, they don't have items going around, like they want to try to see what they can achieve on their own with the items that they find. I will go for solo self-found. This is mostly because I already have a bunch of items in my normal chest, and chests are shared between characters in the same leagues. So I want to go with a bit of a solo self-found for this particular, and I'm not sure I'll call it a tutorial, but it's a first try of how your game might look. And then we have classes. As far as classes go, I was thinking of what I should start with. The Duelist was one of the melee classes that I thought you might enjoy, but then I thought, well, let's give something different a bit of a go, right? Let's go with a Ranger.
Swift and silent, you stole the bounty of others. A crow that plunders our crops. A stray dog that slaughters our sheep. Ariath is a land of men, not animals. Think on that, Ranger, when Rayclass shows you how to truly live like an animal.
Okay, let's go for a name here. And what should we call her? Let's call... can I go? No, I'm sure anything with wolf is probably already taken. Let's see. Jenna the Wolf. Let's put this name. I think that will work. This game is a free-to-play game. However, I would say that it's a bit of a free-to-play trial. If you wanna get into the game further in, you'll probably buy some stashes and a few other quality of life items. But anyway, let's get started. Let's get going with the game. I'll skip the tutorials.
Not seen a wilderness like this before. There'll be some dark days ahead.
So now we are equipped with a bow. We have potions here. They replenish whenever you kill monsters. So you don't have to have a full stack of potions. Here there's a scroll of wisdom, like we had in other games in like Diablo. We use it to identify different items. And here we have a bow. Like this bow has 2 green slots. These green slots are active skills and support skills for those active skills. So first of all, we have here a click, a default attack where we shoot a bow. I am not gonna go through the story. I'm just gonna go through the action of it. Just for the purpose is to move quicker. I want to explain to you different kind of mechanics. I want to show you how you progress through this game, and I would like through multiple series to show you how to reach a good level where you can start enjoying the game by yourself and maybe push you and me even further to a certain mastery class. So now we have our first active skill. Every skill has a level. It starts from level 1, you can see there at the top. It has a mana cost, or maybe it reserves some of your mana. It tells you what it does, so fires a burning arrow that deals a fire damage. It ignites an enemy. It will also inflict an additional debuff for a duration, dealing burning damage based on the magnitude of the ignite. This damage is not affected by your damage modifiers. Up to 5 of these debuffs can be applied simultaneously to an enemy. And we see that deals 150% base damage. Base duration is 4. If the skill ignites an enemy, it also inflicts a burning debuff. Debuff deals fire damage per second equal to 30% of the ignite damage per second. 100% of the physical damage that we do with the bow is converted to fire damage. 50% chance to ignite the enemies and 15% more chance to damage with ignite. There's a lot of information. That's why I am saying that in this game you can go very deep into stats and you can create those beautiful builds that work well together, and it's really fun to try to put stuff on together on your own. And so now we have here a burning arrow. Now we can move this skill around. With the burning arrow we can shoot like that, and it does consume some mana for us. So we're going to go around, try to get ourselves some gear. Once again, this Let's Play, it's mostly for the people who have never played the game before, or are trying to get in the game, or have tried the game for a little bit, and not more than that. If you're already familiar with the game, it might be a bit difficult for you to watch this series. I will tell you from the start, because I am going to play in a very... I don't know how to say, in a very noob kind of way, beginner way, while also sharing a bit of the knowledge. At the moment we will see all these items on the ground wherever we are going. I activate this by pressing Z. Generally speaking, I like to use a filter. There's an item filter that you can download from online on different pages, and they make sure that you see only, or reduce the amount of items that you see, because in this game you will see a whole lot of them. Now we got Pierce Support. It's our first support skill. If we take a look at it, it says this: projectiles from the supported skill pierce 2 additional targets. Now what do we do with this? Well, there are different, you can see on the left on active skills that there is a green mark. That means that this support skill can influence that active skill. If there would be a red X there, it means that it wouldn't work together. So it does. We take this gem, we put it here, and now when we shoot at an enemy, it doesn't only stop in that enemy, it keeps going on through 2 targets. So this is a very good skill for crowd control. We'll probably be using this skill for a very long time. Now we'll just go around, kill some more mobs, and try to get a level up. The game is really nice, has a good story.
I'm still breathing, that's a good sign.
And I do recommend that you play it. As I said, it's the reason why I'm bringing this series to you. And here is our first level up. We are going to be watching we're going to look at the passive skill of this game. So we start here, right? Take a look at this entire passive skill tree. This is one of the reasons why I quit the game for the first time. I couldn't really understand it. I was used to playing games like Diablo or other RPGs that had a certain class. You took yourself as a paladin, and when you leveled up, you had probably 3 skills and a few points that you would put into strength, right? Strength, defense, things like that, or constitution. This game has something of the same, a bit of the same idea, if you'd like, but at the same time it's very different. Each class, each character in the beginning of the game starts at a different point on this skill tree. When you start with the ranger, most of the skills on this side are based on dexterity. The ones at the top, they're more bluish, they're about intelligence, right? Spells and magic. And the ones on the bottom left are more focused around strength. Now, it's a lot easier with the ranger to push on many of these skills that are like range. Projectiles have 50% chance for an additional projectile when forking, or weapon artistry, increase attack speed, strength and dexterity, and gain block attack damage while dual wielding or holding a shield. Like, all these skills are mostly based around dexterity. These are more based around strength. One way of looking for certain points, like the smaller ones offer you small benefits. Like this offers dexterity, for example. These offer evasion and life. These offer projectile damage. And then there's this bigger cluster, the bigger dots, which give you multiple benefits. They are like I'm not sure if better skills is the right word, but they definitely have more impact on what you do. So one way to search for what you are looking for is to write the name of your skill, of what you're looking. If I was going to use a bow, I would probably write a bow here in the search button, right? And you can see highlighted all the skills, these dots that offer you bow skills, right? So we'll probably want to go maybe for Hunter's Gambit. Provides us with 10% extra chaos damage over time multiplier. This is generally poisons. 24% increased damage with bows. 10 increased skill effect duration. 24 increased damage over time with bows. So this is a bit of the more advanced kind of knowledge in a sense, but we have all kinds of points for, as you can see, bows, swords, axes, like there's everything in regards to weapon. We have life, like if we take a look at this small icon, it shows life. So we get 10 increased maximum life and 8% chance to avoid elemental ailments, like the ignite we had on the bow skill, right? The burning debuffs and ignite. They're also, I think, we can write defense. Defense is a bit tougher too, because there's elemental resistance and a few other things, but we can see that we have defense here as well. So if you don't understand how this skill tree works and it feels too complicated, that's why you get to a certain middle level knowledge where you can create yourself a path where you're trying to get to the most points as quickly as possible, the most impactful points. Like if we want to get all the bows here, all the bow points here, we'll have to think about how are we going to do that and if they're going to be useful. And so there are different paths you can take, and if I am here, maybe I'll go and grab some life as well, because there's this cluster here. That's how you put a build together. But let's get back to something simple, how we would play the game. How I played the game the first time. And I want to go forward with that, try to build a character and just slip in every once in a while a bit of the knowledge. So first of all is the beginning of the game. We will get some armor. I'm not really fearing for defense right now. So I would like to go ahead and get aspect of eagle, right? Go in this direction to get some bow points. Plus 20% damage with bows, 12 increased global accuracy rating, plus 10 life, that is good. 4% increased movement speed and 20 increased damage over time with bow skills. So I think this skill is pretty good. I am going to go ahead and go on this direction to begin with. Okay, now let's continue. You can see the stats whenever in the character. There is a character screen, and we can see here the different stats for our skill damage and also for our normal attack. We will be checking it out later on when we have multiple skills and we're trying to decide what are we going to add to this character. So let's continue like that. This is our first boss. This is Hillock. He's pretty tough. You can get killed by him, so you have to be careful. You have to use your potion. We are lucky that at least with the ranger we can run away from him. So now we have a few more items. We have 3 types of defenses in this game. There's armor, which we have equipped on us right now. There's also evasion, which helps enemies miss you. And there's like an energy shield like we have here. We'll take this evasion one. There's energy shield like we have on this one, which provides you with an extra shield above your life that keeps regenerating, and when you take damage you lose that first and then life. Every one of these requires a certain, like this requires strength, armor requires strength, evasion requires dexterity, and robes, the energy shield, require intelligence, as you can see there. We're going to collect all of these. I would like to use a scroll of wisdom to identify this evasion robe, and we're going to add that on. As you can see, the armors, one of the things I thought about this game when I first played it is that these armors don't really look that cool, right? Everything is so dark, it didn't feel that amazing to collect them. But now we killed Hillock, so we can go ahead and collect our reward, our first reward for Tarklade.
Fine work with Hillock.
Okay, so now we get our second skill. Once again, we get multiple skills, we can use them however we feel like. We have Split Arrow, which is an attack skill. 1 to 2 added attack physical damage, fires 4 additional arrows. We have here an Ice Shot, which we can use to probably freeze enemies, right? Frost Blades, attacks enemy with increased range, releasing icy blades from the first enemy hit which fly at other enemies. Requires a melee weapon. So we can add a dexterity skill, like even on skills there's red for strength, green for dexterity, and blue for magic or intelligence. An overall view of the skills. Then we have a Galvanic Arrow, which releases an arrow along with a burst of lightning, which damages all enemies in a cone, so this is lightning. And Caustic Arrow fires an arrow which deals chaos damage in an area on impact and spreads caustic ground. And this is poison. As you can see, deals 8.8 chaos damage. So what should we go with? I would like this Split Arrow, but I think first of all I don't really like fire skills. I'm thinking about either taking Ice. Ice Shot, 60% of the physical damage is converted to cold damage, chills enemy as though dealing 100% more damage. This could be really good maybe to stick enemies in place. But no, let's go first of all with fire multiple arrows at different targets. I'll pick that.
Stay sharp out there.
For every skill you want to add, you need spots. When I add this Split Arrow skill here, we gain the skill on the side, and we can see that at this level it gives us 7 to 17 damage. This is also influenced by bow, I believe, and fires 5 arrows. It doesn't matter that I'm putting the skill on an armor, it does apply the weapon damage, and we can't use it if we're taking it out. But the support, the pierce support, does not affect this skill. It has to be in the same linked area. So I'm gonna use the Split Arrow for a while. I'm going to add it here instead of the fire arrow on the right click. And I would like to have the pierce support so it travels through multiple enemies. For these armors, we are going to sell it. And here comes the second difference of this game in particular. When you sell stuff, you don't sell it for money and buy it with money. Everything costs different types of items that you either use for the upgrade of your armor or the enhancement of your armor, and there are different kinds of recipes. So if you sell, as you can see, we get here a scroll fragment for each of these normal items, and when we have 5 of them, we will get a wisdom scroll. So we can go like this, and now we get a wisdom scroll. If we sell this kind of, what is it, a rare item, so blue is magic and yellow is rare. When we sell this, we get transmutation shards, which when we get 20, we get an orb of transmutation. We don't have that yet, we're not going to go into it. Let's see, does it give us something else if we identify it? It's a pretty good armor for the beginning, but we don't have the intelligence. Now that we sell it, we get 6 alteration shards. So we get transmutation for unidentified, we get alteration for identified rare items. These don't matter too much early on, but it might come in handy for you to know from the beginning that this is how the game works. And when you purchase different items, you can see that it does also cost us different scrolls of wisdom. Some of these cost orb of chance, so there are different ways in which you can buy and sell your items.
Be well.
Now we're just getting some quests for us. Travel to Untitled Island and find the medicine chest. If we take a look here, we have our skills. Our quest. And we're going now towards the Mercy mission. We already started this game. We're still at the beginning of it, and there's so much information. You can understand why this game can feel overwhelming when you first play it. And I felt the same way, but once I got over these the first times playing it, and understood a bit better how the mechanics come together, I started to enjoy it more and more and more, to now even I played for a while, I get a bit burned out, and then I leave the game and I come back to it in the future. As you can see, now we have this scale where we can shoot multiple people at once. This will help us a lot with leveling up. Our skills are getting levels. The cool thing about this is that as long as a skill is equipped somewhere on your weapons or armors, they also get experience. Right? So you don't have to use a skill all the time in order to get that experience. Now I'm collecting a whole lot of armors here. We got one that has a free link.
My mana is gone.
Has a free link connection here, which means we can connect multiple skills. So one of the things I want to do, even if this offers us 8 cold resistance, we don't need it at the moment. I don't think there's not going to be many enemies with cold damage. We can take the burning arrow, we can put it here. Now at this point you can see that there's a P right besides our skills. That means that they're both supported by the peer support. So we can put it like this in line. They don't combine, the active skills don't combine, but we can have these support skills adding up to our skills. I'm going to throw this away. The reason why I'm throwing them away, even though my first instinct when playing this game was to collect everything, is that normal items don't give you that many necessary resources, and you wanna progress like town portals. There are town portal scrolls, but in the same way that we have wisdom scrolls for
worms will have to wait a bit longer for this meal.
In the way that wisdom scrolls are money, so are down portal scrolls, which means you don't want to waste them just coming back and forth all the time. Here we gained a new bow, we're gonna identify it, 7 increased attack speed. That is a plus for us, but as you can see, this does not have a linked gem. So if we had split arrow and peer support here, they wouldn't work together. We need them to link. Sometimes it's better to keep items that are linked than items that are not linked. Let's continue on this path. We said we are going to go for this, so I am going to take projectile damage and attack speed next. Let's go around, kill some more enemies. We found here a waypoint back home if we're going to need it. I am going to explore the map like this. There's a lot of lore you can find on when playing the game. So if you are story oriented, you are going to enjoy this game quite a bit. It has a slightly different story than what you expect. It's a bit dark as well. But it is enjoyable. It is an enjoyable experience at that, and it's original to where you don't feel like, yeah, I've heard it all before. So there you have it. We are using that multiple projectile. I'm happy now that I'm using these projectiles instead. Every once in a while. Ooh, there is a cold damage boss. Every once in a while I'm hitting the 5 key for the mana potion in my bar, just to replenish this mana. Let's see. We have Superior Stone Axe, that provides us with quality. It's a better quality weapon, which means that it gives us better stats. Overall, I'm going to take these magic items, these blue items. I'm going to try to sell them to get some money. We have a medium mana flask, which I'm going to put in the 5th slot. And then we're going around getting some extra experience. We're going to explore the island tiny bit more, see if we can get anything special. More advanced people, when you play more advanced, you don't sit around these areas for too long, I would say. It really depends on how you enjoy playing the game. Once again, don't look at other people doing Let's Plays. It's why I'm doing this Let's Play. That's a bit different than what other people are. Don't do it like them just because you saw them play a certain way. In this game, even in the end game, you won't be doing everything. You will probably be choosing every league that you play. Every time that you play the game, you will choose a different way or to do something different. Going for different types of contents, going for different types of end bosses and so on. So it doesn't really matter how you play it. Play it in your own way. If you enjoy the story, sit down and enjoy the story. Don't rush through it, because it doesn't really matter how others do it, okay? Keep that in mind. We can go for projectile damage or attack speed. At this point, I think I like attack speed more than attack damage. I would like to shoot a lot faster. So that's what I'm going to go for. Glass Shank, Chromatic Orb. A Chromatic Orb is used to change different colors on our items. So as you can see, we have here green, red, and another red. Maybe we want this to be green. Then we can use this Chromatic Orb, and it's a random chance that it will turn into something that you need, in the colors that you need. I'm gonna heal up. I am going to go, let's see, there's a few more enemies here. But I think that's about it for this area. So what I'm doing now is that I'll just go home, take this town portal back home, get my reward, and then prepare for the next mission and of course the next episode, because we are already hitting the 35-minute mark.
I'd almost stop believing.
Here we have 3 different potions. Medium life flasks is and medium mana flask, it's something that we can already understand already. This offers us health, this offers us mana. Then we have here a quicksilver flask. This increases movement speed for 4 seconds and it's a very useful item to have. Always pick this one. There are a lot of people who also look for it at the beginning of the league, when there's a market reset, when there are not really many items. Now we can also get another support skill. Let's see, we have chaos support. Supported skills have 40% chance to poison on hit, and supported skills have 1 to 3 added chaos damage. Or onslaught support. Supported skills grant onslaught for 3 seconds, and I think that onslaught provides you with an opportunity to shoot faster or to deal a killing blow, as it says there. Supported skills have 21% chance to grant onslaught for 3.2 seconds on dealing a killing blow. No, on when we kill units we get onslaught, and I think that increases our speed of attack and probably damage. Mirage Archer supports attack skills that can be used with bows. Supported skills can only be used with bows, okay. Maximum 1 summon Mirage Archer. Mirage Archer lasts 4 seconds. When you hit an enemy with an arrow from a supported skill, summon a Mirage Archer which uses that skill. Mirage Archer uses support skills with 60 less attack speed and he deals 40 less. So when we shoot someone, there is a chance that when we hit someone, the Mirage Archer will show up and he will use the same skill with 60 less speed and 40 less damage, okay. And volley supported skills fire 2 additional projectiles. Supported skills also fire projectiles from up to 2 points on each side of you. Okay, well, both of these work. I am split between going for Archer support to see what these Mirage Archers look like, and also the volley support. Mostly because this split arrow with one of those volley, adding 2 extra arrows to split arrows, I think it's pretty good, right? It would spread around more. So for the moment, I will be taking volley support. But whenever you unlock this set of skills, you can go back to Nessa here, and you can go to the second panel and you will find all the skills that were unlocked so far. So we can go use a Scroll of Wisdom to buy Mirage Archer support. So we're going to do that. And first of all, what I'm going to do, I'm going to try, because I am more sure that I want to use the volley support. No, let's take the volley support and add it instead of the burning arrow. The reason I'm doing that is because this armor is linked, and at this point you can see that we are getting 7 arrows instead of 5. So that's about it. We're going to check the Mirage Archer support in the future. For the moment I'll put a cut in here and I'll be back with the next episode. I hope you are enjoying, and as the beginning of any series, if you do enjoy what I'm doing here, please consider leaving a like. It does help the channel grow, and do subscribe if you like what I'm doing. And finally, if you would like to speak about the game or talk about anything else, do leave a comment or send me an email. You can find the information at the About section of this channel. I do enjoy having conversation with you guys and chat about the games that we love so much. With that being said, see you next time and have a wonderful day.